Crank 'em up.
What's up, folks? It's episode 69 of Chasin Tails. We got a legend on tonight, Jimmy Shane. We got a lot of stories to tell. He just told us he's got some notes of stories to tell on us. I'm thinking we're going to cancel the episode at this point, right, Bob? What do you think?
Yeah,
I,
probably.
I think he's got too many stories to tell. We don't know
Too
which way
much
this is going to
dirt.
go.
Too much dirt.
This could be a PR nightmare for Chasin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Janek's watching since she's the H1 PR person. She might want to shut us down right now.
One person get a shutdown on Chasin Tails. One of them's Jimmy Shane.
But anyway, folks, we got Jimmy Shane backstage. We did all his stats. He's done a lot in unlimited racing, a lot of national championships, Gold Cups. He won a lot in inboard racing leading up to it. He's got his kids racing now. And for some reason, he's returning the unlimited hydroplane racing. So let's go ahead and hear what he's got to say.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome, Jimmy.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. So I guess we'll get to the unlimited part later. Let's give the fans that don't know you a little bit of your background. Obviously, a lot of people know you out there. You're one of the most popular unlimited drivers, I think, that's been around in my generation of watching it. So, but where'd you start, and how'd you come up through the ranks to get to that unlimited rank?
Sure, absolutely. I know you guys know my background and my upbringing because we raced a lot against each other back in the day. But I started, my family started racing back in 1969. My dad started racing outboard hydros, B-stock hydros, way back when. And then my whole family was involved with racing, so it was basically an expectation. Growing up, there was no other choice. I think if I didn't want to race, I think my parents would have been okay with that, but it was really hard being in the environment that I was in growing up, just surrounded by engines, boats, going to races. And, it was an amazing family experience growing up. So I started racing when I was 8 years old. I started testing J runabouts with the old 60J stock outboard engine. And then I worked my way up through the ranks. So 1.5 liter inboard, 2.5 stock. I pretty much have driven almost every inboard class except for the flat bottoms, super stocks and pro stocks. And I don't think I ever got to drive a GNH 7 liter. But
they're a little scarce these days.
Yeah, skiffs. My sister and I raced a Jersey Speed skiff for 5 or 6 years together. That was a blast. That was a lot of fun. Probably the most scared I've been in a boat was in a Jersey Speed skiff, knowing that my sister was there and she didn't have any control over anything, so it was all on me as the driver. And then, worked my way up through the ranks. Eventually got to driving in Grand Prix boats, raced on the Canadian circuit, which is now the HRL circuit, with a long gone Grand Prix boat. And that was an experience in itself, a lot of work. You guys know how much work a Grand Prix boat is. Keeping one together, putting it together is one thing. Keeping it together is something else. And you guys have done an amazing job with your program. So went to the Long Gone, and then I drove some other Grand Prix. Built a boat for Dean Rojas, the GP10, the Charger boat. Raced that for a couple years. And then really what got me set up for making that move to the Unlimiteds was racing with the Weber brothers. So Mike, Mark, and Steve Weber with their 5 liter, the My Way. That was the link, the connection that really got me where I needed to be with the Unlimiteds. Mike was team manager of the Formula Boats Unlimited team back in 2005. And just having that connection of driving their 5 liter, that's really what gave me the opportunity to step in and get a chance at that Unlimited ride. So I tested the Unlimited in Salina, Ohio, at 20 years old. I don't even think I was even old enough to officially race an Unlimited. And then I got a chance when, unfortunately, Mike Allen blew over in Detroit in 2007. I got a chance to drive the backup Formula Boats, and that's kind of how it all started. So now I'm here sitting in the old Budweiser shop, and I guess I'm getting ready to get back in and unlimited again this year. So
So, all
Your
right.
kids got to be pretty excited about it.
yeah, I'm sure the kids are watching. So I gotta say hi to the boys back home, Colton and Hudson. I'm sure they're probably online right now watching. So I'm just got to Seattle this morning, and I'm up here for some work, and so kind of miss them already. And
Yeah.
but yeah, the boys are hot and heavy in J racing right now. So I've been that's kind of why I stepped away for a little bit from the Unlimiteds, to make sure I had availability to go to all their races and school events and support them. And we accomplished a lot in the last 3 years. So um, I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But yeah, the boys are back home. So in San Antonio. So hi to them.
Yeah, there you go. So, since you're talking about the boys, and I'll tell a little story about mine, is are you their favorite driver, or are they more of an Andrew Tate fan?
Uh, uh, I think I would say, as far as drivers, they kind of idolize Carson Kelly right now. I'm gonna have to
Cool.
say that Carson is probably their idol that they look up to, which was very cool this year at the Stock Alpert Nationals. My boys did very well, and I'm so proud of them. But one of the first people to come up to Hudson after the race was Carson Kelly, and
Oh, wow.
it really does show you how family oriented this sport can be and has been for years and years.
Yeah, definitely. See, mine, once they heard you were coming back, I think they were more excited then than when they heard I was going to drive an unlimited. And tonight they're like, "Can we stay up and watch Jimmy Shane?" I was like, "Dude, you can watch it tomorrow,
Yeah,
first thing in the morning."
that's funny.
I'm like, how worlds change. You know, you go from rivals to friends to rivals, and now my kids want to be your friend. I'm like, come on, man, cheer for dad, please.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think my kids think their dad is pretty cool still. I would say they probably still, look up to me as a driver, and that's one of the reasons why I'm back is because I straight up pulled them aside and I asked them, and I was like, all right, would you be okay if Dad went back and raced boats? And they didn't even have to think about it. They're like, yes, like we miss it. We want to go back to the unlimited races. Like we 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 loved it, and we would love to see you drive again. So that was a
Yeah,
big, that was a
now they're
massive
older
win.
and can enjoy it, can kind of go around by themselves to other friends. Like you said, Carson will be at a lot of the races.
Yep,
Like it'll be a whole different experience for them.
absolutely.
Was your plan always to come back? Like, not obviously you never. There's never a set plan. Like, hey, I'm going to come back in 5 years. But when you stepped away, was it an intention of yours at some point to come back, or was it really just we're going to see how this unfolds and where it goes from there?
Honestly, I would have, if you would have asked me last year, I would have said absolutely not. Like I wouldn't have been back. But I think that I always kept it open as an opportunity. But it was definitely the right time for me to step away when I did, and the opportunity presented itself with really good racing equipment again, and I was like, yeah, I hesitated at first whether I wanted to do it, and once I talked to the boys and other family members like Bianca and my parents and stuff, and they're like go for it, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're going back racing. So here we go.
That's cool. So which boat are you driving? Are you going to be back in Sharky, or are you going to be in the one that Charlie built?
Dun dun
Wiggins.
dun. I don't know.
Hey man, I think we're having some internet connection issues. You might need to walk around the shop so we can
Oh
see which
yeah,
name boat's got your name on
here's what I can tell you. Right, I can tell you this. Oh, that's about it.
it. Exactly. Yeah, park the truck in front of all the important stuff.
Yeah, Mike Hansen and Taylor, they wouldn't be too pleased if I did a walk through the shop right now.
Right. So we talked a little bit about like your family upbringing and how you started in the sport. Was there a turning point like when you were a kid that seeing your mom race, your dad race, like that made you hooked? That like, I really want to do this. I want to be like them someday. Like, was there a moment that you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely one moment that sticks into my head, and it's a pretty cool story of how I ended up with my first race boat too. We were building the hijacker boat in 1995 and 1996 for my mom to race in 1 liter stock, 1.5 liter stock, and we ordered a capsule from the Struzix up in Pennsylvania. And so we took a trip up to Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and went to basically it was in Walt's house. Walt Struzik's house was where they were making them. And we went and picked up the capsule from John and Walt. And up in the loft where they were doing the composite work, there was a old runabout sitting up against the wall. And I'm pretty sure I was 7 at the time, 7 years old, 8 years old, right around that age. And I looked at it and I'm like, man, like I'm almost old enough to start racing. Like I think it would be pretty cool to see if I can get my hands on that boat. So when I got home, um, I went to the local newspaper downtown. I walked at 7 or 8 years old. I walked to the local newspaper downtown. My mom didn't even know I was gone. And I took like $5 and I put an ad in the paper to try to earn money by doing jobs, and it was literally like 8-year-old looking for a job to wash dishes and do your laundry and clean up and pick up leaves around the house. And the paper came out, and I I had I'm pretty sure I had the business, like I put the business shop number in there for Shane Metal. And the paper came out. It was called The Bargaineer, and the paper came out, and the ad was in there. And I walked over to Mom. I was like, "Mom, look." She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That's my ad I put in the paper to earn money." She's like, "You did what?" I was like, "Yeah, I walked down to the newspaper and I put an ad in to try. I need to make money to buy this runabout boat that's up in Pennsylvania." And so she's like, "Oh my God." And so I actually did. I got some jobs. I earned about $125 in I don't know, a couple weeks, couple months. I don't remember the time frame. But then I wrote a letter to the Struzix, and I sent $125 cash in the envelope up to John and Walt. And I was like, "Hey, I've been working, and I remember that runabout sitting up on the wall, and I would love to buy it from you guys. I don't know how much you want for it, but here's $125. Can we make a deal?" And they called my mom. They were like, "What in the hell is it? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on?" And they eventually just said, "Just come up and get it, and just take it and go racing." And so I ended up with my first race boat from the Struzix, and then word got around that I was trying to get a rig together to get started in J, and the first person who called was Craig DeWalt, who makes the propellers for a lot of inboard boats. And Craig had the 60J stock outboard engine and a propeller, and he's like, "Come up and get it." And so I was able to, and this is like the family aspect of it, right? Like helping each other out and supporting each other. I was able to get started in racing for nothing, right? I mean, essentially
$125.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure they gave it back. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't know. I don't remember.
That might get you a push to talk button nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
But super cool how I ended up with my first rig, and then we tested in Haverty Grace, and I ran under the bridge, and then the next weekend we went to Camden, North Carolina. We put the runabout on the inboard trailer and just strapped it down on my mom's hijacker trailer and towed it to our first outboard race, and that's where it all started. Yeah,
That's a cool story. Man, we've known you a long time and never heard that one. That's
I know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No, that's one of those like grassroots stories. You hear those rarely in any kind of sport. That's
cool.
So
now transition, I guess, from the J stocks. Then we talked about a little bit earlier about your kids getting into it. Did they have the bug just like you did? Like they were begging you at 7, 8 years old that they wanted one?
Yeah, it's probably even earlier than that. It was probably, 3 or 4. They would run around the house with my racing helmet on and make, motor noises and boat noises, and they raced the little Hot Wheels on the ground. And I got some funny videos of who ended up winning races in Hot Wheels boats um, over the years. So. For some reason, Kip Brown always won when Hudson was racing. So maybe Kip is somebody that Hudson really looks up to. Too. He won a lot of Hot Wheels races.
Oh, well, he always had a neck up on the competition.
Yeah, but yeah, they definitely, they definitely have been interested for a lot. It's the same thing as I grew up, right? They're in the environment. They grew up going to the races. It was really hard for them to not want to do it. So I definitely would never pressure them into it, but I think it's something they love doing. I think they Hudson, his first day of school this year when he got back to school, he took in the picture of his boat from the national championships and was showing all the teachers and went to like his old teachers' rooms, like look, I won.
Awesome.
I won this year, so I think it's something they're proud of.
He hasn't had you dolly that thing in there for show and tell yet.
Oh, no, not the boat. Not yet. I have pulled the rig in to the parking lot and picked the boys up from school and then bonsai'd from a race. I remember my parents doing that a lot with us too, growing up.
Yeah, like school's important, but it kind of gets in the way of travel time.
That's
we can't
right.
wait for you to get off the bus. We gotta go.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember him pulling up to the school and pull me out early. And saying, "Oh, he's got a dentist appointment," and then get in the boat and get in the motorhome and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, with kids racing, I've kind of learned with Theo doing the go karts and progressing. He wasn't like fast off the bat, but like seeing his joy and like getting excited that he feels he did well. I think that's been like one of the coolest things I've felt in my whole racing career. Obviously, we've been successful, but like seeing your kid just enjoy it, whether it's first or last, or just feeling proud of himself. So that's the cool feeling.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did your boys get to play around on the hydro simulator at all prior to getting experience or getting into the outboards?
They did a little bit. In fact, Hudson still fires it up almost, I'd say, every other day. When he gets home and he goes out and does some timing runs and practices. And I think it actually is a really helpful tool just for awareness of where to be on the course, where the buoys are going to be and what to look for, what side of the buoys you're supposed to go on. Like it's really good for the kids. Just for awareness, like situational awareness.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I guess they're supposed to be bringing in 2.5 stocks soon.
Oh wow!
So it'll be different.
Run those at
very, very sensitive.
Yeah, run those at
it's too light
at San Diego on the 2.5 mile course in saltwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one lap race.
Right.
Some of the
10 minutes later.
Some of the guys we've had on that have kids that have gotten into it, or some of the kids that have gotten into racing. It's rare to find some of the younger guys that got in and didn't have some experience on the sim. I know that's not something that you guys necessarily had the opportunity to I guess experiment with before getting into racing. And to your point, in my experience, when you get out onto the course, it is like a whole different world. As simple as it looks from the shore, it's just not when you're in the cockpit.
Sure.
So having just that little bit of visual before you went out there the first time was really nice.
Even the landmarks, like just
knowing
where to point the boat to get out to the course, and that it's super helpful for that.
It's helpful for most,
you want
Brandon, though.
I bet there's one place where it's the most helpful. It's no longer on the circuit. It wasn't helpful for knowing which course to run for me, but Guntersville. Just knowing where the course was.
Yeah.
In the hydro sim, I was like, oh, here it is. Cool.
It's way out there. Yeah.
I remember the first time Bob got on running Guntersville, we were sitting there. I'm already running laps, and you can hear like when the boats enter the water and fire up, and like 3 minutes go by, and he's like, where the fuck is the race course? Dude? And you're like looking around and like you can't see him anywhere in the game.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's funny. Are you you're sitting in a sim right now, aren't you?
Oh yeah, mine
Yeah.
just stays on my desk all the time.
That's funny.
he's just ready. He's
I
practicing
got the
his
new
starts.
F1 game.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
cheap.
Yeah, I
gotta-
remember we had that league going for a while, and then Jimmy, I think, showed up and just smoked us all. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah,
the
but
F1, the F1, yeah, like I don't know. You must have a cheat code or something, but Jesus,
I was racing. Nobody
Couldn't
told
ca-
me about the like DRS and all the buttons you could press. I'm just out there just driving.
yeah, I'm too cheap though. I won't buy the new game. Like I'll wait for like 2 years to go by and then get it on Steam for like $1.99.
That's great.
So we got a couple comments we'll catch up on in the on our Facebook here. So one's talking about your best race boat name ever. So where was the inspiration for It's a Floater?
I knew it was going to be that one.
Well, there's been a few. There were some really random ones. I remember I had the T2000 one year, and it was the Millennium Eagle, and that was a goofy name. I don't know what I was thinking there, like just nerdy. And then there was the Ladies Man. That didn't pan out too well.
No.
And I remember I like named the boat like the day before the race, and I went to like Lowe's or Home Depot, and I got the street like sign like stickers, like with the letters, and I put Ladies Man on the boat with like the block letters, and it was not appealing to ladies at all. So
no, it looked like a handyman at that point.
Yeah, I mean the best one though. I'm sure somebody already knows it since they put that question in the comment though. I mean, I think the funniest and the best name and the most like accurate name was It's a Floater. That I think was the best boat name. And you really want to know where that name came from? It came from when I watched the Most Extreme Challenge. You know, the Japanese game show. They had this game called Sinkers and Floaters.
Yep. I remember that.
And so
I do remember that.
I literally was like, "Oh, it's a floater." Yeah, there it is. That's the name. And then the very first race after I named the boat, or the second race, I blew it over backwards. And
like a back on?
Yeah, and the boat was just sitting there bobbing, and I was like, "Well, at least it floats. It's fitting."
Yeah, that was the blue one, the one that John has now, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will say that was a perfect name because that's the weirdest feeling floating boat I've ever driven.
It
just sits there like it's on a cushion.
I love that thing. I still love that boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I drove that one time at Rocky Fork, and I'm going down the front stretch, and it's just hovering, and I'm like, "Am I going to flip?" I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
It's not doing it. It's like locked in. I'm like, this is freaking weird. It's weirdest boat I'm feeling.
You got to try hard to blow over a T-boat, but that boat, you could blow that one over.
Yeah. And then we got one from Kyle Bipes. He wants to know why you shot him down for driving the Miss Madison last year, but now here you are coming back.
Well, obviously, I wanted to give the opportunity to somebody named Brandon Kennedy. No, I mean, I definitely, it was timing. It was the timing of everything, and I wasn't ready. I was in the heart of racing with the kids and prepping the boats and working on all their equipment. So that was the main reason. It was just timing. And I mean, Madison will forever be in my heart, right? I mean, it's an amazing experience. You got to experience that, this past year. Like I always said, you have 14,000 of the biggest fans when you're doing good, and you've got 14,000 of the biggest, critics.
Yeah. That was a very nice way to put it, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's an amazing legacy. It's an amazing tradition to drive for Madison, and yeah, I'm really happy that you had your chance and your opportunity to get an unlimited, get qualified. That's a big deal. And to do it with the Madison team, it's an honor to race for that team for sure.
Yeah, for
Fife
sure.
just said you want to come back now. He can make a call. Looks like Brandon's about. Brandon, you're fired.
Oh
I think
man.
Brandon's doing an amazing job. I think you guys are going to be in good shape. So
Yeah, it's definitely a cool community race for it. I think it fit, like you said, timing is everything with certain things, and I think this one fit where I'm at in my career and
yeah,
what I want to do, and it's just enjoying more of the journey than just getting put in like equipment like you're going to be in, and like, hey, you go win or you go home. Like, so this one's a little more fun for me. But now that you talked about the Madison people, I hear you'd like to have a good time down at the Snake Pit.
I don't. What's the snake pit?
Let's talk about that time you
Joking.
had a good time after the races and then you missed your flight the next day.
Yeah, yeah. I thought I was retired for good from
Like,
racing.
I'm done.
Yeah. Madison is a fun town on hydroplane racing weekend. So I blame that one on the Luptons. 100% on the Luptons.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
great.
keep up with them, but we
It seemed
dang
like a
well
trend.
try.
But
See,
there. I mean, obviously, I know what the Snake Pit is. I know Bart Leiter and the whole crew down there. It's been amazing to have them as a family since I started racing the unlimited boats, and uh, it is definitely an experience in Madison to hang out with those people, and you see how engaged they are in racing. It's an amazing experience. I can't wait to go back and catch up with a lot of people this year in Madison.
yeah, I'm sure they're gonna want you to be their golf partner this year instead of me. So because it didn't go too well for me.
Well, that was fun though.
So the next comment, and then we'll get to some other things. Was you're in Texas, and on this podcast we talk about Texas tri halls a lot. You ever going to get in one?
Absolutely not a chance in
Dude,
Come
they
on,
look
man! You did a
so
skiff. They
badass.
look
Come
way
on,
more
not
professional
it
than a
would
a
be
skiff.
way more than a
chance.
skiff.
We went to the last F1 race of the year down in Highlands, Texas, near Houston, and Colton got to test one of the new GT15 boats, the V
Okay.
bottom boats, which are super cool. And we stayed for the day and watched all the races, and I would never set foot in a trial boat. It is extraordinary to watch. If I was 20 years younger with no kids, 100% I would jump in that thing. But those things are wild, and I think the drivers driving them are even more wild than the boats
Yeah,
are.
yeah. We say they need to be like up in HRL for like when there's wind
Oh
delays.
my
You
god,
just
yeah,
draw out of a hat who gets to go out there and get like 10 of them out there.
100%. Yeah, you can literally just have them sitting on the dock ready to go, or on the beach, like just have them on the beach just sitting there, and they will just jump in their boats, and it would be the perfect like intermission show at any
Yeah,
racing event.
that's Madison needs to bring the Texas Trials. That's
And
all
Kyle
there is
Bipes
to
needs
it.
to drive one.
Yeah, yeah, got to
Put his
get him
money
Not
where his
involved.
allowed in
mouth
Texas
is.
tri holes at the end of it.
With my track record in skiffs, I might not get in a
Yeah,
trial.
you're not allowed. We might have to that might be the fourth APBA rule proposal this year. Is you're just not allowed in tri halls specifically.
Tri halls and skiffs cannot
Yeah.
get in.
Cannot be in them.
You want to know
Need my training wheels.
how I knew that I was never going to get set foot in a trial? I went and looked at one of the boats, and I saw the diameter and the size of the roll cage, and I was like, oh my god, there's a reason why it's this big. Like, nope. Nope.
Yeah,
it's definitely taking impact.
Yep, not happening. But
Oh
they're
man.
super cool. I mean, super. More power to all those guys and girls that are driving them, because it's a show to watch for sure.
Yeah, maybe I need to start building some.
Yeah,
We
the
got
most
this East
indicative
Coast
thing
thing going.
of the tri halls is like one of their I don't know if most popular is the right word. One of the most recognizable drivers is Scary Jerry Ranker. That's if you got a guy in your class named Scary Jerry, you're putting a good show.
K-Dub says she can make it happen, that they're the best to watch. So
No, not happening, K-Dub. They are
His
definitely
kids
the
will
best
be
to
in one
watch.
soon. What's the minimum age?
She said
Right?
it. She said it correctly. Like they're the best to watch.
I mean, looking at them, I mean, if we can get one, we could probably splash some molds off of it because they look stupid simple to build.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Down.
super cool
Let's
boats.
go.
They're stock engines.
Are they stock?
Yeah, they're
Really?
super cool engines. Yeah, they're wild.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I mean, we've been talking about it for like ever since this podcast started, so we gotta shit or get off the pot here. But
So
talking about the engines, back to the J stocks, and then I'll let Bobby take his next thought. Is you, I think, were one of the first ones to do that Tohatsu motor, and now HRL's kind of taken on that path. What kind of led you to that, and obviously, what are the benefits to that versus the old school one they've been running?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the timing worked out great with my kids, and the junior class committee approved a four-stroke engine, and it's literally a stock four-stroke engine that you can go to Bass Pro Shop, Outdoor World, anywhere like that. You can order it online and have it shipped to your door, and you can take this engine and pull it out of the box, take the tiller handle off, and bolt it on the boat, bolt your steering bars on, and hook your throttle up, and you can go race. And that's what was so intriguing to me, is that it's literally the definition of stock outboard racing. It still has the fishing lower unit on it, like it's big, bulky lower unit. But that motor, we've been running it for 2 years now. I have not touched one single thing. Like, I have not. Oh my god! I just got a text from my Colton's definitely watching. He says, "It looks like you need to poop, Dad."
God, love
Thanks, Colton. I appreciate that. I'll try to not look like I have to poop. Now you made my ears all red.
It's a good thing we do have a little connection issue, so that it's blurry a little bit. So you're good. So
that's
he must
good.
really know your face well, but it's all right.
Um,
We got audio. That's all that matters.
yeah, they. Getting back to the four-stroke engines, yeah, I mean that's what was so intriguing about it, because they were literally off the shelf. You put them on the boat and you go race. So I kind of was the first one to put it on a hydroplane back in May of 2024, and we put it on, and the boat ran 33 miles an hour without any adjustments, without anything. And a typical J speed is like 38 to 40. A really good like two-stroke J hydro is running 42 miles an hour. And so I was like, man, I think we can work with this. I think it's a great baseline. And so, made some changes, raised the motor up, got some height adjustments. We set it up to all the legal rules of J, and the boats ended up running like 42, 43 miles an hour. So they were running the same speed as the two-stroke J hydros. And
that's all with the same with the stock lower
with
unit?
the stock lower unit. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so it's what it is. It proved out it's a great baseline for a motor. I haven't spent more than $2,500 on an engine yet. I buy them used off of Facebook Marketplace, and some people buy engines and then they don't really like it, or it's underpowered, and then they'll sell it for a couple $100 less. And so it's affordable. It's stock. I have not changed oil. I have not changed lower unit oil, and I have not touched the engine in 2 years. And Hudson has a push button starter on his, and he just pushes the button and goes and races. And that's the way that it should be. Right.
That's awesome.
So they get on plane really easy, which is always a struggle with the two strokes because, the parents are always trying to set them up to the limits of where you can race them at. And a lot of times the kids struggle to get on plane. These you will never have that issue with because of the torque they have and the size of the prop. That boats get right up on plane, and they run a bigger boat. They run a C stock hydro size boat, so it's about a 8 inches to a foot longer than the normal J boats. But the kid can grow with the boat as
Oh,
he gets
nice.
older, right? And so really, if you don't wreck or damage the boat, you can go from a 4-stroke, and then when the kid gets 16, you can cut the transom down and put a C stock hydro, a 20 hydro engine on it with the same exact
Okay.
boat. And so the maintenance cost as the kid gets older is less because now all you got to do is buy an engine, which there's going to be kids out there looking for 4-stroke engines for J, so you sell that one and you buy a stock motor. And it really is just trying to keep the cost and accessibility low to get into the sport. There's still a lot of work to do with it. There's some more rules that need to be implemented, and those are happening next year. And I think it's going to be here for a long time. The 4-stroke is going to kind of take over. It's also a benefit too because of EPA laws. A lot of federal laws are saying, "Hey, no more 2-strokes" because of the oil that they
Yeah.
put into the lakes
Yeah.
and rivers and waterways. And so with the
Yeah.
4-stroke, it's clean. You don't get any oil deposits, and it's a lot of lakes and rivers and waterways are limiting engines now to 4-strokes and no 2-strokes. So
Wow.
kind of having to
That's
adapt,
cool.
right, with the times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
that's
cool to see.
awesome.
I think it's something that APBA has always struggled with is adapting with the times. So seeing, at least in certain cases, it happen is
Yeah.
a good sign.
Oh, that's real cool. So I've been talking to some people, and there's a lot of people excited that you're coming back to unlimited racing, and definitely with the BWR team. They're one of the top predominant teams in H1 right now. Um, just talking with some people, I think it's pretty cool. You know, Dave's a great driver. He's done a lot of great things in the sport. Um, but I like talking with some people. I would say that you are going to be more aggressive. You're going to be pushing it more, and so you're going to bring a different aspect to that team, and it'll change the whole dynamic of how everyone's going to like what they're going to do on the water. Um, you know, everyone had a game plan because for Andrew last year, now they're going to have to change it up because you have Andrew and you out there. And there better not be any like this F1 team playing crap where they get on the radio, oh, you got to let him pass you. He needs it for points. But that better not be any of that crap.
Yeah, no, there there definitely won't be any of that. I mean, it's a unique opportunity with this team because they have two different sponsors. And so you've got Apollo and you've got Goodman, and so they both have their goals and their achievements that they want to do. So it's not two separate teams, but
Yeah.
it's one team, but it's definitely two separate like goals and thought processes.
Yeah.
Dave, obviously, I mean the numbers speak for itself, right?
Yeah.
I'll keep my personal thoughts of Dave to myself because I just I have a different perspective of
You
Dave
had to
as a
race against him.
yeah, I had to race
Yeah.
against him, and there was some there's some situations that were very in my mind very questionable when Dave was on the water, and it's honestly another one of the small reasons that I decided to come back was Dave decided to not race anymore, and so I felt a little more comfortable being out on the water without Dave on the water, to be blunt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this opportunity. There will not be any team driving. We're definitely. I can tell you, Bruce. The little bit that I've talked with Bruce, Bruce wants to win, right? and he's spending a lot of money, and he is put together an amazing team. But guess who else really wants to win? John Goodman, Andrew Tate, that sponsor. And so I think all it's going to do is elevate the racing. It's going to elevate the competition, and I'm really really looking forward to that aspect of it. That's what I did miss when I took my break, was the competitiveness, the adrenaline, and I'm looking forward to that coming back for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the field that's going to be there, and I think it's somewhat going to grow. Possibly there's some people talking about coming back. It's going to be the youngest field of drivers H1's ever had with the most competitive equipment. You look at the strong boats, and if Bucket List comes back, and us, and then Graham, obviously Jeff's always a player and whatever he gets in, but there's a lot of fast boats, a lot of good equipment. It's going to be something I don't think Unlimited fans have seen in a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of other teams too, Gunnar O'Farrell was showing. I mean, at testing right before he blew over, he was doing like 195 miles an hour, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
got speed.
the potential is there for that boat to absolutely go out and win some races. And so I agree with you. I think the competition is going to be amazing. I think the sport still has a lot of room to build and to grow, and to learn from its past lessons. I think that's probably the biggest step that H1 could take, is to really really learn from the lessons of the past. As I was talking about with the four-stroke engines, you have to adapt or die.
Yep.
And so I think now is the time where maybe I can help with some of that feedback towards the sport too. Is, H1 is great. H1 puts on a good show, but it could be a lot better. The marketing of our sport could use a hand and could use help. You look at what like E1 racing is doing. When you compare the actual racing to the racing that H1 does, like they're night and day. But then you look at what E1 has been able to do with their marketing aspect of it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, like how they've grown and the owners that they have. And they really looked at the marketing side of things and said, hey, we need to start there, and then we can build everything else around when the money comes in.
Exactly.
And I think H1, really needs to take a look at that model, and because it's working. I mean, they have people, they have big name people in the sport, and it's room for growth, right? I think it's room for growth. The other thing too is that H1, it has a long storied tradition, right? It has the legacy, but when you have to adapt with the times, it's not 1950s and 1960s anymore, where it's the only show in town. There is tons of stuff going on, and you need to look more at H1 racing as a subsidiary during a race weekend. And Madison, I think, has done a really good job of this. They bring in concerts, right? They bring in big name shows, and they tie it in with the racing. There's a reason why the Indy 500 is the biggest attended race in the world, and it's not because of just the Indy 500 racing. It's because they have massive concerts in the infield every single night with big name people, and that is why you see 400,000 people attending the Indy 500. It's not just for the racing aspect. It's for they can bring the whole family and go to concerts. And I think length of time needs to be looked at in the sport. Like, we really need to compact the show down to 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours max, because I don't want to go to like a San Antonio Spurs game for 6 hours. Right? I don't.
Jimmy, H1 hits the water. I almost didn't get in this thing because they hit the water too early for me.
Yeah,
Like, you guys used to test.
You don't want to
Detroit,
start testing at
right
8
behind my
o'clock
motorhome
go
and
to
wake
6?
me up every morning.
Well, I think there's a balance to it. Like, you definitely need time on the water, but when it comes to the show aspect of it, it has to be more like what HRL does. It has to be more like what E1 does. Like, there has to be a slot, a window, and you have to make it work. Like, it is part of the show. and people will come for 4 hours. People will come for 5 hours to see that show. The diehards are going to come all day long. You're not going to lose those people anyway. But how do we get new people to come in? And I think that's a big part of it.
I agree with that. Through getting the Gold Cup coming back to Madison, one thing got brought up from some old fan that knows obviously all the history of it and was like, we have the oldest trophy in motorsports that no one knows about. And I was like, that right there is the biggest problem we have. It is, you have that name title to this big trophy, our crown jewel, and we don't have the full promotions. We'll do a little bit before the Gold Cup. You know, the drivers talking about what it'll mean to win the Gold Cup and this, but it needs to be promoted all year long. You need to try to get on some of these TV stations to talk about it, like just to build that buzz around it. So if we're failing on our crown jewel, we need to start looking at, all right, how can we improve this?
Yeah.
Or go ahead.
I was going to say too, like, we need to market the drivers too. Like, that's a big thing. Make them, marketable. But you have to be trained to do that as well. Like, it's not just something that everybody can do. I'll show you guys. Let me show you guys one thing. I got something special for you for this show. I told you I had a couple of special things. So when I decided to come back to racing, one of the first things I did was I knew I wasn't going to fit back in my suit, my driving suit. So I started immediately the first day I started working out. So I want to show you guys some of the results. You guys ready?
Oh, Jesus.
Am I buffering or can you see me clearly? You good?
We can see pretty clear enough for what's about to happen.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you the results from working out.
I got a button for this.
Did he just freeze? He just froze.
Back in a sec.
It'll come back. He's
gone.
He's grabbing something. He's on one of those buff suits. Yeah.
Oh man,
Jimmy's so strong now.
And Paul's on a 6-pack. Or is that an 8-pack? I can't tell.
I can't count that high.
It looks so different when you don't
5
have
laps
the abs
only,
in your
folks.
brain.
What?
It looks so different without the
It's
abs.
just boobs now. I need to give me one of them.
Oh man.
So yeah, you got to get back in shape.
You got to put in the work, right? Oh,
wanna-
that's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beck, I like that you brought up the E1 thing. I think something that E1 had as an opportunity that we don't necessarily have in H1 or inboard or HRL is like they're new. Like they started from scratch. The boats in themselves we've never ran anything like that, and they got to almost like hand pick their market. Whereas now in 2025, we don't get to hand pick the H1 market or the inboard market. It's kind of established now. It's about reaching them more. But one thing that we've always talked about here is race site selection. These guys are racing in Miami. They're racing in Barcelona, and I think that plays a big role in it. Those places got a shitload of money. Not knocking any of the smaller race sites that we race at, but I think sometimes we get caught as a sport that's been around for so long. We stand in our own way, like this is how it's been, this is where we've always raced, and like there's nothing wrong with still racing there, but I think when we're looking at new sites or we're looking at new opportunities, we should almost approach it from that new market perspective of what we've been doing works in some locations, it also doesn't work very well in others, and finding kind of that medium between the two. And then it obviously helps, they very clearly targeted a wealthy fan base.
Yeah, and had a ton of investor backing.
Yeah, one in the location that they race in. They're like F1. Their trackside experience is VIP. Like, there's not really stands. Obviously if they're racing in Barcelona or something, there's a shoreline and people can kind of just show up and watch. But their approach was funding from the back or from the the front end investing, not necessarily I doubt they even care what their ticket sales on a race day, and it's just a different they've approached it from a different way, and they had the luxury of doing that, being that they didn't exist till now. But I think where boat racing sometimes is we're so set on not changing too much of how we operate, but there are things that I think we need to change. to adapt, like you said.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, it's the package deal, right? It's they also designed the boats to be able to run in really rough water, so that the races don't get blown out, and they have boats on the water, and so yeah, it's a package deal, and I think that's something that H1 can look at a lot more about consolidating the show, bringing in more events to support our racing, to just bring more heads to those sites.
Yeah, and they E1 did an amazing job in how they were able to develop their ownership base. I mean, you're a basketball fan knows nothing about boat racing, and LeBron James posts on his story this boat that he owns, and he's at a boat race, and it's like, what's the first thing that person's going to do? Is they're going to be like, what the hell is that? And they're going to go look into it. And I'm not saying that we can just go reach out to Tom Brady and be like, hey, dude, buy this unlimited. But like that was something that they did that was very, very well. And maybe there is opportunity for people in the future, guys with money just like winning shit.
Well,
at the end of the
like there was an opportunity last year, right? When they had Jimmy Johnson driving the Atlas van line.
Yeah.
He took the live stream, the YouTube what do you call it?
Yeah, the live stream
thing. The live
Facebook
stream,
Live.
copied it, put it on his Facebook, his social media for people to watch. H1 had him do that on a day that there was not any racing. It's like you missed your chance to have a huge crowd look because of Jimmy Johnson. He could have been out in the water and then immediately started heat after that because you have so many people watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did they miss that opportunity? But learn from the past.
They took the perspective of it being more about the historical relevance of that moment with Jimmy, and I get it. I mean, that's definitely something worth pointing out. But I do agree. I think it was a missed opportunity not feeding a potential fan a live action race as soon as you could after it, because ultimately, if somebody's tuning into boat racing, it's for racing, not testing, not talking about boat racing. Yeah.
Sure.
I'd rather have Jimmy Shane in a boat than Jimmy Johnson anyway.
That's right. No, it was cool to watch for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you see it in NASCAR, for example, like the new age driver, they all have these massive followings naturally.
It's all
them,
social first. I mean, that's.
And
I think Jimmy stated it earlier how we're missing the boat on that. Like, you got to be driver trained, PR trained, all that stuff. And Jimmy, I know you had a big Facebook page back when you were driving, and I'm sure you're going to have it again. But some of the biggest names in our sport don't promote at all, and that's bad. I think you need that connection with the fans. You need to show them you're having fun with your kids, or you're out to dinner at such and such restaurant. Like, you need them to feel like they're with you, they're your friend, that kind of thing, to grow what you want to grow.
I mean, on the most extreme levels, you see F1 and Drive to Survive. Each one of those drivers has this person that follows them around and basically tells them what not to say at all times. And like Lando Norris ignores them, and they start shit, and like that's fine because people love it. But they're not gonna let somebody go in there and act like young Kyle Busch and just piss off the world, because it's bad look for the business.
We're doing our best with this podcast to do that.
Yeah, hey, there's room for it. Like, take Hocevar, for example. That dude's hated by about the entire pits. Yet he is arguably, from a follower perspective, the most followed, the most popular racer in the sport.
Hey,
and
just
I think
one
guys like
lay mullets.
Guys like him, like, you know what? If we don't have Cletus McFarland at an H1 event in the next 2 years, we failed. We might as well just shut this shit down. Like, guys like that, we've got to get them here. And just check it out, because the following, they post one video, that's a million new potential fans. Obviously, you're not going to convert 1 million people, but you can convert 200. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. All in percentages.
Exactly. There's just, I think the market for boat racing it's obviously very niche, and like the hosts of ours, the McFarlands, like those guys kind of operate in that realm of motorsports, where it's motorsports for entertainment, not just competition. and I think that's something that H1 could lean into. A
Hey,
little more.
we gonna fire it back up. We get on to the old rivalry stories of Jimmy Shane and the Kennedys, so
That's
it's
right.
coming back to
Oh, yeah.
H1.
There's a lot of
We get Bobby a ride, and it's on like Donkey Kong.
There's a lot. In fact, here I got an old story for you guys, and this one's for Bobby. I want to know if you can remember what you and I did in Essex, Maryland. That I basically got the worst butt spanking of my life. I don't know if you remember this or not, but Bobby and I ran off and jumped in somebody's golf cart, and we ran over Willard Wilson with a golf cart.
Ran over him.
I mean, not like ran. Well, we definitely hit him hard enough to where it knocked him down.
You created his limp.
That's why he had a cane.
And
Oh,
I don't
go to
know.
hell.
I don't know if I mean, the second my mom heard about this happening, I knew exactly what was happening. The second I got home, Mama Shane was pulling out the metal spatula with the little floral pattern cut out on it, and I was gonna have red roses on my butt cheeks, on both of them. And I did.
Oh man,
I did.
that's
Damn, you
hilarious.
never told us
I
that.
don't remember. Well,
Yeah, we've been riding Mason about
we've
crashing
done
his
a lot
golf
of
cart.
things.
Bobby had a crash in a golf cart story.
We've done a lot of things back in our younger days. That's hilarious.
We used to fight. We used to fight over girls.
Fight
Hey, I
over
was
girls.
gonna bring up Valleyfield and how Bobby got fired after you two had a scuffle over a girl.
We used to.
I had to fire him from the T-boat.
You know,
Yeah.
we did things that kids did growing up. And
I remember one time in your motorhome. I forget what age we were. We like for some reason started grabbing like different, not an alcoholic, but we started grabbing different things, making drinks. I don't know how we didn't get any food poisoning because we put so much different shit together. We did some weird stuff.
my kids do that now. They go. My kids will go to like a fast food joint, and they'll walk up to the
Every
soda.
flavor.
Yeah. And I forget what do they call it? A graveyard? They call it the graveyard.
Graveyard. Oh my god.
And they'll get one of every flavor.
That's great. You remember
They're gonna be trained
used
for
to-
bar water when they turn 21.
for a few years there at Hampton, we went to the BMX. Your parents would take us to the BMX track.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. I
That was
think
real cool.
I remember doing the softball game in Hampton. That was always a big memory of mine. Like that was a blast watching all the adults get drunk and trying to hit a softball, and none of them could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the kids would get up there, hit it, and get somebody on base at least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bobby Commander should have never played baseball.
It was
But there's a
it was
few of them that should've never
entertaining
played.
for sure.
Oh yeah. The pitcher stripping down to a bikini. I think it was a bikini.
Oh yeah.
Could have been
Alicia.
lingerie. Alicia, yeah.
Not
No,
to name
a lot
drop
of
her or
lot of
anything.
fun, good times. A lot of fun and good times.
So, yeah, a lot of we learn and live and learn, and we grow, and it turned us into the people we are today for sure.
I never brought it up, but I gotta say you cheated one time. We were
Are you talking about Hampton?
no.
That was
I'm
it.
talking about go-karts at Valleyfield.
Oh,
We were supposed to have a pace lap where we stayed in line all the way around, and they were going to wave the green flag. We're like 2-3 turns away from like the start, and then here comes Jimmy.
From the back.
Just blows past everyone and never looks back. And I'm like, that's a penalty. That is a penalty.
What he didn't tell you about is Jimmy had Davy Greenlaw on the radios.
Go, go, go.
Go.
You gotta get out of that dirty air.
Winners find a way to win, and it
was
was time. It was
hilarious.
time to go.
It was time to go. That was great.
Well, cool. You got any other questions or anything from the comments, or what do you got?
Let's
Let's
see.
Any other
see.
random stuff?
No, not really on there. I will say there's one story of watching you and my dad race T-boats in Wildwood one year. You guys were parked, and then you tried fighting for lanes a couple times. And then y'all raced through the infield, and you were ahead of him, and he lifted. You overshot the turn, and he snuck inside you. I'm like, that's a move I will never forget.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
going to use that in the H1 this year?
I used that move in H1 back in 2012 or 2013, and I did it to Dave Vowak. So
Nice.
I reversed it.
There you
You
go.
reversed it.
The young
Yeah,
taught the old.
I learned my lesson. Thanks to
All right,
Isn't
thanks to
so
your
isn't it
dad.
crazy how much we learned from Tebow that kind of went up through the ranks?
Oh,
Like I know there's always that argument and has been for Tebow for years that like, oh, it's a kids class, old people shouldn't race. But I feel like I learned a lot from you when you were the veteran in the class, and that's helped me through 5 liter and all the way up. And you learn from my dad and such. So
yeah.
it's
I mean,
crazy.
you really don't understand the comparison of a 1.5 stock hydroplane and an unlimited hydroplane. How similar they are. They're
Yep.
underpowered turds, right?
Yeah, I
And
got laughed at when I said that this year. I was like, this
they
feels just like my T-boat.
they are. I mean, the unlimited is an amazing experience, right? The speed when you really get up to like 190, 195, 200, like, and then turn,
Yeah.
you really do feel like you're going 200 miles an hour. But like literally accelerating and going down the straightaways, it's identical to an underpowered inboard hydroplane, and you're trying to do everything you can in your power to get the boat up and going and flying. And that's, I learned that from 1.5 stock racing, and I really think that is what made me a really good unlimited driver is the ability to, you gotta make the boat, do stuff it doesn't want to do sometimes. Uh, because you don't have the power to overcome or correct any mistakes. So
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it definitely made me a better driver starting in the lower ranks, but remembering it too of what I had to do back in the day.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
since you're coming back, there's no more 80-mile-an-hour rule. Did you like the 80-mile-an-hour rule, or were you one of those
Eddie said you got to
drivers that
race
didn't like?
both.
Yeah, you did in
You raced pre 80 mile an hour.
2012 or something.
Yep. So I think I don't remember what year it got implemented, but oh my god, I hated the 80-mile-an-hour rule.
Yeah.
It was my nemesis. Like I lost a lot of races because of that
You
stupid
lost
rule.
a couple big ones because of that thing.
I lost a
Yeah.
lot of big races because of that rule. And it's because
Yeah.
you had, you had to push the limits because everybody was, knew where they had to be on the race course at that speed, and if you weren't there, you didn't get position advantage on the other driver. So I hated it at first for sure because it was a judgment call with the strobe lights.
Yeah.
There was, and
Yeah.
then they went to the hard data review, which didn't really solve the problem because you're still making decisions after the race is over, right? Which is
Yep.
not helping the show or the product. So I'm glad they got rid of the 80-mile-an-hour rule. I think there's still some other things that they could implement to focus on making it the best show possible, right? It doesn't always have to be about the racers. It doesn't have to be about fighting for lanes. It doesn't have to be about, you know, what is, one racer might be really good at one thing and worse in another one, but you got to focus on the show. What is best
Yep.
for the show? What do the fans want to see? And what is going to make consolidate the racing to where you can fit it into an appropriate time frame. So that's,
Yeah.
I don't care what they do as long as they're focusing on improving the product. That's all that matters
I
to
agree
me.
with that.
Yeah.
I think we need to focus on the new fan, not the diehard.
Yep.
We had, like we said on this podcast, we had Tanner Faust on. We had the perfect focus group, someone that's never seen our sport before that could kind of give us feedback. He's built sports, the global rallycross, all that stuff. And I mean, the things he said on here align with what you say. And
Yeah.
it all makes so much sense that I don't understand why we have to argue over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you at the meeting past weekend?
I was not. No.
Okay, you missed people arguing over this exact thing. So I wasn't there, but I get all the details. So we had one person arguing that said that nobody listens to a podcast about hydroplane racing for the rule changes.
Yeah.
But they're arguing the point of, again, assign lanes, fighting for lanes, which is better. And it's like we keep arguing this, like, why not try it? Do you have 5 races this year, 4 races, whatever it is, go 50-50, but come up with a formula. And if at the first race you did assign lanes and that formula didn't work, let's mix it up. Like, I go back to HRL changed, and I was telling somebody the other day that pretty much because of me in 5 liter, everyone parked at the exit pin and drag raced, and I just blew by them, and the fans went wild because they just wanted to see a start.
Yep.
And what we have right now, I think, in H1 is great that the 80-mile-an-hour rule is gone, but we have 2 starts. And when you're watching a
Yeah.
live stream with an announcer that's been doing this a long time, and he's like, "Yep, that's not the start," or "Is that?" And it's like, no, it's not the start. But you just confused all these fans. So
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
there's
see.
pros and cons to both, but in my opinion, I think there's a lot more advantage in the assigned lanes when you're looking at the product, right? You don't need a 10 to the 5 to the 5 for assigned lanes. You don't need a countdown. You say the race starts at 3 p.m. You better have your boat in the water in time. We're going with a 5-minute gun, and you go.
Yep.
And right there, you just took an hour and a half out of the timeline by not having a 10-minute gun and waiting for boats to get craned in the water. Like, that's one little change that can affect the product and the show massively. And then it gives you time to focus on other stuff like the marketing, like the interviews and the PR stuff. It doesn't matter to me what decision is made as long as it's progressing towards a bigger fan base and improvements in the sport. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you were involved when ACHA did that, and it's like we all, I think, hated it in the beginning, and people that didn't do it argued, "Oh, this isn't boat racing. This isn't how we do it. The pre-race thing is the biggest part of boat racing," and now it's honestly the best show out there. And it's not always the inside lane guy. And I mean, there's even stuff they could do. Maybe you do at the beginning of the weekend, you pull out of a hat, hey, when we get to the final, lanes 1 through 3 are going to swap. So then now the fast boat might be in lane 3. There's still more that could be done, but it took a step in the right direction, I think, for the fans' point of view. But again, can it work in H1? We don't know till we do it. And like I said, I think right now is the best time to try it because you have 6 or 7, maybe 8 of the most competitive boats you've ever had.
Yeah.
So it's going to really make it a good show.
I think that's a key. Because H1's done really good stuff, and all series have done really good stuff at various times. But I feel like oftentimes we make these really good changes when the competition's not at its best. The base of the show's not at its best. I think from an H1 perspective, talent of driver and quality of equipment wise, we're coming into one of, on paper, the best years we've seen for that. I think it would be an egregious error not to capitalize on expanding on what we have with that show that we're going to get naturally just because of the drivers and because of the boats.
Yeah, I mean, I think one simple goal that you could have for the 2026 season is to make sure nobody writes a comment that says, "Did the race start?" or "When did the race start?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's an achievable goal. That's very easy to fix.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you eliminate that, having to deal with that, it gives you time to focus on other stuff. Like I was saying.
Yep. Exactly.
More important stuff.
They also mentioned that there was 17 pre-race penalties last year.
Wow.
Some of those were jumping the gun, but like that's a big number.
That is a big number.
And that's a problem for our fans. Again, the guy that is out front, nope, sorry, he had a penalty, and you don't learn till end. And that goes again to the data box. Like, we don't need that anymore. If someone went over on fuel flow in the final, throw them out for a tech violation on Monday like every other motorsports does. Stop holding our fans hostage after a great final. Like, hold on, it's unofficial. Like, let's just cheer and be happy. And if they have a tech violation, throw them out Monday with a huge fine. That's the 2 things I think are the key to work on.
I mean, there's plenty of data to support it. You look at the starts that they've had in HRL. they're amazing. Like all the boats are lined up right at the start finish line, right? And then you are probably going to get less gun jumps because of how much they matter in that format, right? If you jump the gun, you will not have an inside lane for the final, more than likely. So,
Right.
you know, don't do it. If you want to win the race, like, give yourself a
Yeah,
little
it
buffer.
kills
But,
you. Yeah.
but I think that's something that, like I say, adapt or die. Focus on the show, focus on your fans, and I understand there's a lot more else going. There's a lot of other factors going on, but work on the ones that you can solve easily. And that's a pretty easy one. Like the fans know when the race starts.
So Eddie
Definitely.
Canfouche just commented. He said the H1 ran assigned lanes 2009, 2010. In 09, the championship came down to the last weekend for the top 4 boats. The top 3 all had a shot going into the final. Stephen David won the title when Vilwalk had a motor start to die when only a couple laps left. In 2010, the battle quite wasn't as close, but still tight. So,
Bobby,
I
that was
mean,
a really good job reading. I'm proud of
That
you.
was his best job. It wasn't perfect, but that was the best he's done, man. The pace was impressive.
well, I mean, I forget there was one episode someone wrote something and I was trying to read it. And
That was a text message you weren't supposed to read. That one?
Oh,
He's talking about the Jim Wilson comment when we did the Honda Open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a paragraph. And
and I was trying to read his, and it was like chopped up.
But anyway,
Eddie
back
knows
to the
how
point,
to flow.
obviously.
But yeah, so there's proof in the pudding, right? Like the assigned lanes is working. Like me, I would probably rather fight for lanes than assigned lanes, but I'll race any way you tell me to.
You've come
But
a long way.
it's working in H1. I mean, it's working in HRL. So I mean, and it's worked in the H1 in the past. So you know, I think they should give it a shot with the pedigree of competition that they're going to have this year.
Yeah.
I mean, but who do we know? We're just a podcast.
Yeah, nobody listens to this podcast.
We do have a couple questions for Jimmy that have
Yeah, we do.
accumulated.
Yep.
So first one, what was your greatest win?
In any class, I would say.
And yeah, any class.
Oh, the next one?
Was it beating Rob and go-karts at Valleyfield? Or wherever?
Did you just go from the Steve David? You just took something out of Steve David PR book right there. The next one.
He beat me in a lot more than just go-karts. He whooped my ass for a long time in T-boats.
Let me see. I think my greatest win, like one of the most memorable ones, was my first win in Unlimiteds in 2012 in Tri-Cities. That was something that, you know, I'll never get that feeling back of just having that experience of winning achieving a childhood dream, achieving a childhood goal. I had won some heat races up to that point, but winning the final in the sport that I dreamed of my entire life was pretty amazing. So I'd have to say that one over all the rest of them, just because of the emotion and the feeling of it.
Yeah, the meaning of it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
next
awesome.
one. What class did you have the most fun in, and why?
Oh, that's a toss-up.
That's got to be a hard one there.
Yeah, I mean, Jersey Speed Skiffs, had a ton of fun in that. Stock outboard.
Jimmy asked. He knew that was going to be one of your answers.
Yeah, definitely Jersey Speed Skiffs
Jimmy.
It was a lot of fun. I think stock outboard racing, so like A stock hydros and C stock hydros, and super competitive, super fun. All of them. I had fun in all of them, but probably the skiff. The skiff was probably the most fun. Yeah.
I remember me and Brandon went down to, was it Lakeland? Yeah, I think it was. No, it wasn't Lakeland. I forget where it was. We went to watch you race outboards one weekend in Florida, and you were there racing. It was pretty cool because you had a wing on your outboard that was controlled by a little lever inside the boat. Yep. Something a little different you don't generally see.
Yeah, that was in Lake Alfred for the Pro Nationals.
Lake Alfred.
Yeah, it was the World Championships.
Yep.
And so I brought a boat down there that I built that was pretty unique, and it was funny. I saw all the European guys and Chinese guys coming over, and they're like, "Oh, that thing moves," and I'm like, "Yeah, it moves." Like, um, it was pretty cool to build that boat.
Yeah, that's nice. I believe you started doing something with the front of the boats that people started copying.
I started put like from the inboard boats and then in limiteds, I started making like really round sponsons
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
outboard boats. That was a big thing. I'm
yeah.
still working on some of that stuff now. So the boys get some of that advantage of
Yeah.
learning from over the years.
That's cool. That's awesome.
All right, we got 3 more. So first one, what are your goals for this upcoming season?
I would say my goals are first and foremost to um, keep all the equipment in one piece. That's kind of really people don't understand how important that is in H1 in the unlimiteds is um, you got to finish first to get points and to accomplish your goals. So keep everything in one piece. As you know, you can never predict everything, and you can never prevent everything, but making sure I protect the equipment is first and foremost. Number two is I would love to win another race. I think that's an achievable goal this year with some of the equipment that I'm running and I'm comfortable with. It's amazing to be back with pretty much the same crew.
There's
Yeah,
So
I picked up on that one.
uh,
that.
yeah, it's pretty cool to be in this equipment again. Um, and then number three, like um, you know, improve the sport as much as possible, and with the feedback that I can provide, and trying to just prove that there's more to it than just the racing aspect of it. Um, so
Yeah,
grow, just grow.
yeah.
sounds like sounds like you'll be a part of the Chasin Tails mission club here.
Sweet.
Hey, what we will tell you, we are out of buoy hunter shirts, so don't go try and get one.
Oh,
It might fit over that outfit he had, the
yeah, I
4X.
know.
Yeah, we do. We actually do have a 4X still lying around.
Yeah, when we came out with the buoy hunter shirts, it just seemed like everyone went out and hit a
36
buoy.
hit in HRL alone that year. It was ridiculous.
Like we were in Valleyfield and people just were walking up like I hit a buoy, I hit a buoy. It's like, guys, this isn't like an award. Like you're
not a
not
good thing.
supposed to go hit buoys.
This was supposed to be embarrassing.
maybe
Now we
maybe
got
if
the
they
toilet bowl
yeah
thing,
maybe if
too.
they wrap the buoys with this,
Yeah.
it'll be a little more exciting for everybody.
Well,
That's awesome.
Madison was the first time. Austin's not on the show tonight, but it was the first time he's ever been away from the buoy because that exit pin there would
Dude, that thing
swallow
was so
the
big.
2.5.
So big. All right.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, our owner, he asked, "Does Jimmy?" And you kind of already answered this one, but I guess like if you were just to have a preference of one or the other, does Jimmy like assigned lanes? And how do you feel about GPs running with H1? I think he said high, but I think he meant
Yeah.
H1.
That's what.
Yeah, I think like I said, the starts don't matter to me. I'm gonna do whatever the sport decides to do, but I I don't have a preference. I've done both. I've done more racing and fighting for lanes, and I think I actually have enough experience and confidence with that to where I would probably prefer to do that, like fight for lanes and race, because I think I've shown I've been able to excel at that pretty well. So, but if I really had to pick, I mean, I would love to try the assigned lanes just to get the data.
Yeah.
Yep.
See how it goes. Get the data. If it improves the sport as a whole, I'm all for it, 100%.
Yep.
And as far as GPs racing with H1, it's the same thing, right? It's a package. So it's how you present them, it's how you package it, and it's coming with is it a benefit for the show? Most places, it is going to be a benefit for the show, and I think that was proven. Keeping them running, that's the important thing for the show. Got to have it's all about your product. Your product should be your number one goal, is to improve your product. And I think I think the GPs do that. I think they're a great asset to the show. Uh, so yeah, I'm all for that. But everybody needs to get their act together and to 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 make a good product, so that we can market it and grow it.
And I think
Yeah.
an opportunity that GPs, actually visually running with H1, running at the same sites provides, and Brandon's probably the best example of this right now, is the progression aspect. I think for a long time, like even some diehard H1 fans, they have no idea where you guys come from. Like,
They have no clue
we've had
who we
guys
are.
that have never raced and just, well, let's be honest. Like how do you,
Yeah.
to a random person that's just now tuning into H1, what are they going to assume? Like, how did you get to driving a turbine-powered boat that goes 200 plus miles an hour if they let it go?
Yep.
Um,
The first time they heard Jimmy say "Warsh," they were like, "Where the hell did this guy come from?"
No, Madison was like, he's right at home.
But I just think, and when you pair the GPs with H1, obviously in most, actually I don't even think you say in most cases, but there is that step up. It gives you an opportunity to then branch down into the other classes, and not necessarily like take over promoting the other classes, but it gives direct visibility to them without branching away from the story H1's trying to tell. This driver, it will take Brandon as an example, has been racing GP for a decade, came from 2.5, 1 liter, and I think there's just, you talked about it in the beginning, personal, humanizing the sport. You got a lot of times people are cheering for boats that half the time they don't even know who the hell the person is driving. They might not even be able to tell you their name. And I think that's one of the ways to do it, is the progression.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that is that's the package that I'm kind of talking about. Like you have to look at it as a big picture item, and what is best for the sport, right? So you Formula One, you see the kids starting go karts, progress up, and then at a very young age they're in Formula Two, and then they're in Formula One, right? It happens quick. Um, we don't have as much of an advantage because we have less places to race. We have less. Um, we're reliant on water conditions in a lot of areas, so you gotta find stuff that fits the bill. The tri-hulls is a great addition because they can race in really rough water. If the unlimiteds can run in really rough water too, but the smaller boats have a hard time doing that. So when you build a product that you can build a show around, that benefits everybody.
Yep.
And then the last one we got right now, how special was it for you to redo Stu's vintage hydro for him?
Oh man, that was cool. If people don't know, I'll give you some backstory on it. I mentioned first thing in the show. My dad started racing in 1969. My mom raced. My sister raced, and we all raced against each other together, which was fun. We didn't have family dinners. We were just eating whenever we could. But for me, when I was growing up, I would go and look at the old newspapers that my dad kept, and I would see the hijacker, wins in Pennsylvania, or the hijacker wins in Ohio, and I see my dad's face on there. My dad was an idol for sure growing up. So my dad raced in the 145 hydro class back in the day with the Ford Pinto engine. And he did very well. He was very successful. He won 7 consecutive national championships from 1976 through 1983. And 1983 was the year my sister was born, so maybe there's some coincidence why the national championship stopped. Kids, it's life. It happens. And so I grew up with this, legendary aspect of, man, my dad did all these really cool things, and so I decided he had been talking for years and years and years. My mom and dad had been talking about restoring the old hijacker boat, and he actually raced it in Valleyfield in 2002 was the last time that he raced it in the T
Oh
class.
wow.
It had the big
Yeah.
goofy cage
Big
on it.
goofy cell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was a goofy setup. But that was the first, one of the first hijacker boats that he had.
Wow.
And so it sat in the garage for years and years and years. And finally, I decided he had his 70th birthday was coming up. It was like 3 years ago. And so I decided to fly to Maryland secretly, and I ripped the entire boat apart. I had some people come in to help me. John Runny and my brother-in-law Adam Allen helped. A couple of the guys that were working at the shop, Alan Burdett, helped, and I was able to fix my dad's boat up. Took every single piece of hardware off of it, stripped it completely down, fixed anything that needed to be repaired, put it all back together, taped it off, primered it, painted it, clear coated it, and put it back on the trailer in 5 days.
That's awesome.
And it was working basically around the clock. It was 20 to 22-hour days to do this project. But it was the coolest thing ever. I was able to present him with his restored race boat on his 70th birthday in front of all of our family.
Wow.
And so he
That's awesome.
and my mom, it's been very rewarding so far because they've gone and took it to the races like back in the old days, just the two of them. They'll just pack it up, put the props in the trailer, go to the gas station, fill up a couple gas cans, and they'll go hit a couple vintage races a year, just like when they were 20 years old. And they go run the boat, and it's amazing to see that thing back out on the water and running, and it is still stupid fast. Like, he ran with a couple 6-liters at one of the races, and he like blew by him. Like, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
He said he hit 95 miles an hour in that thing, and I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Woo! That's fast.
That's cool.
That's really
Dang, it could be illegal 2.5 mile at this point.
It's fast.
You step up.
So yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
super rewarding to see it finish. I knew my parents, they're working until the day they die, probably. Like they're like us. They're fabricators. They live to work and accomplish things and build things. So I knew they were never going to do it, and I just had to like make the time to go do it. So
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's neat. So I guess that brings into another question I had. Was there anything when you first started or your career started to take off, any one key advice like your dad gave you that kind of stayed with you through your career?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I don't think I could really pinpoint it down to one thing. I think it was the whole aspect of growing up in the shop, seeing the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears, the effort, the time, like swapping out rocker arms and measuring cam lift to see, if you can get the best setup possible, and then to see all those little details and all that hard work add up into the success on the water. That's probably the biggest thing I took from my upbringing was hard work really does pay off, right? I mean, they say, proper preparation, create success. And I truly believe that that's one of the things that my parents instilled in me at a very early age. Like, if you want to do something and you want to accomplish goals, like, you got to work for it. That was a big thing I took from my upbringing. We didn't really go on like family vacations. Like, we did a couple.
That was boat racing.
Family vacations. We would go boat racing, but man, our like family trips were going to the junkyard and ripping Toyota Corolla engines out of cars with like, the torch, cutting the frames out of the cars and like taking 3 or 4 engines back and tearing them apart. That was our family vacations.
That was family time.
Yeah. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, it was the greatest thing ever. I learned so much growing up because of that.
That's awesome. That's cool.
That's really cool. I think that story right there, that whole story is like the epitome of what we need to get out to the world for our
Yeah,
sport.
the only thing Jimmy missed in that whole rebuild of the boat is a camera person. You can't be preaching that we need to promote the sport, and you didn't promote that. You could have been like Cletus with your washing and all that stuff. I mean, you would be famous right now.
I think I liked it a lot because it had orange paint on the boat.
Yeah, there you go.
That it's that pirate color, orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
I
I'm
will
not
say,
the only
I
one that
think,
says orange.
yeah, I don't know where you got it. You obviously got it from him, hanging out down there in Havre de Grace.
We grew up together, so
How do you, Jimmy?
yeah.
How do you say Guntersville?
Gunnersville.
He's
Gun-
Hey, he gets it right. Bobby calls it
Gunners?
Gunther, so he
Yeah.
puts a TH on it.
Gunner. Mine's probably more like Gunnersville.
yeah. Let's just take the T out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I will say that you guys having that vintage boat, say up in Valleyfield, that might have been your best time up in Valleyfield since
Oh, yeah.
Liddycoats took you to that club.
Oh God. That story is for a different day.
That's a different podcast.
Jimmy's
episode.
also known for his RC racing.
Yeah. That story is one for when I write the book.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
gonna. Yep.
That's in the
That
tell.
won't be in the book. I got to save that one for the book.
Oh man.
But definitely, that was a blast to see. Yeah, the hijacker run in Valleyfield. I hope we get invited back again. I mean, we had such a great time up there, and I think my parents did too. So, yeah, hope we get a chance to take the boat back there again.
Nice. See, Bob, vintage at races is okay.
Oh, it's awesome.
we had the most hate mail we've ever had because we were talking about how Valleyfield got the finals blowout, but like we had vintage on the water.
Well, we
just
had vintage
before.
running.
And like people took it way out of context.
Yeah.
Man, that's the first time we've ever had like messages blowing us up. Like I
Because
can't
I didn't get death threats.
Yeah, dude, that business meetup was going wild. 2-3 days.
I was getting messages on Facebook. I'm like,
Yep.
like private messages. I'm like, man, people really are pissed off.
People love their vintage, man.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
So
Bob, did you do rapid fire? I know we probably stole some of them if you did.
no, I didn't do any.
You didn't?
He pretty much answered everything.
Yeah,
Everything,
Pretty
yeah.
much
That was
answered
good.
everything.
We wrapped that one up pretty well.
Yeah.
but
Yep.
I don't know. I guess
We're gonna have to have Jimmy on at least, maybe once a month. We're carrying 50 people all night.
yeah, dude.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
told
have,
you.
Best sustained viewership.
Jimmy Shane's
I
a
guess-
popular guy.
I guess one question that would have been in rapid fire that didn't get asked in the comments. I know we asked about your favorite win. Do you have a favorite heat of all time, like from the heat racing itself? Maybe you didn't even win it.
Yep, I do. I have one that sticks out in my mind very particular. I mean, there's obviously been some really close finals and really great races that I've been a part of against some amazing drivers. But there's one in particular. It was in 2012. It was my first real full season in an unlimited, and I got the inside of Steve David in one of the qualifying heats, and I beat him to the start finish line, and I had a good enough setup where I could stay with him through the corners, where he was catching me at the end of the straightaways every single straightaway, but I could on the inside lane beat him and stay ahead of him. And on the third lap, or it was the second lap in Detroit, in one of the qualifying heats in 2012 or 2013, one of the years I was driving for Graham, the canard wing just broke in half. And I'm like, Steve David is right next to me, and the canard wing just goes under the boat, snaps in half and goes under the boat. And I'm like, man, I've never I don't think I beat Steve yet, ever. And I have an opportunity. Yeah. I ran the last lap and a half with no front wing on the boat, and I stayed out in front of Steve David in Detroit on that big course.
Dang.
That one, and it really took me back to the 1 liter days where you're throttle. I was using a lot of throttle control, and just feeling really feeling the boat, what it wanted to do, and I had to adapt really quickly, but I felt comfortable enough to still run really hard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I beat him without a front canard. It was cool.
That's awesome.
And then I found out that I N2'd and I lost and I got disqualified from the heat.
Oh man, yeah. The last thing I'm looking at some lights.
Yeah, and it was like, it's like, it's one of those things where you're in the moment and you're not thinking about all of the aspects of N2 or, where am I really on the course and positioning the boat. I was like, man, I'm in front of Steve David. Like, I'm going to win this heat. And then I ended up, I beat him, but I got disqualified.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's cool. Do you? I don't know if it got asked when I walked away, but did you ever have a favorite boat that you got to drive?
No, we didn't.
Oh man, favorite boat. You know
that
what?
70s boat.
Yes, I do have a favorite boat, and it's not so much a lot of it was the boat, but a lot of it was the person I was driving for too. I got to drive for Carter Parrish in the 2.5 modified class in the A73 boat down in Morgan City, Louisiana, and it was my first time when I felt professional as a racer, because Carter showed up at the race. Everything was immaculate on that boat. Yeah. Every single piece of hardware was anodized, matched the boat. And then he comes to me in the morning before driver's meeting. He hands me this list. And I was like, oh God, what is this? It was a detailed, how to start the motor properly. It was like, flip this switch, pull this lever, push the throttle down, a third of the way, back off, push it down again a third of the way, crank it over, don't start it yet, then pull this lever. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally got into
an unlimited.
The walls are closing in. This is too much stuff.
And it was an amazing experience because the boat was just a rocket ship, right? I mean, everything was tuned on that boat. So it was one of Wheeler Baker's old rides. And so obviously, Wheeler had a lot of feedback building that boat and setting it up. And man, I got a chance that was my first chance where I was like, man, I'm going fast. I'm really going fast.
Yeah, it was a cool boat with Carter.
I think it was 2005 in Morgan City.
Is that Falsinelli's right now?
Yes.
Right? Is that that boat? That's what.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an awesome boat.
We've talked about that a little bit on here, like the best power to weight ratio, fun, just you're on the seat of your pants is 2.5 mod.
I think so. I think
them things roll.
The boats are so agile, they really talk to you. But you also have the power to overcome, and get yourself out of interesting positions because there's so much power to weight.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool class when they have a full field of them.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when you had the geezer boat and both English boats, and they were kind of the main ones at every race, but you had kind of locals that were at a couple races. And
that Don Mashburn's group.
Oh yeah,
it was always fast. Yeah, there was just it was cool to watch. We hate on the modified classes a lot. I think people don't understand that it's kind of more geared towards the current situation they find themselves in. I mean, at their peak, the modified was probably cooler than the stock classes. But it's not cool when you got one modified boat running with 5 stock boats.
I'm surprised no one's bought the geezer boat yet. That thing is so cheap right now, and it's such a good boat.
Jimmy knows that boat well.
Yeah, I do know that boat very well.
Yeah, brand new. You started it.
Yeah,
started in it. Actually, you put it together, I believe, right?
Yeah, we put it all together originally.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's a cool boat. It's one of the only Henderson 2.5 mods, right? Is it Henderson?
Yeah. I think it's the only one he's ever built.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Yep. So
we're about at closing time, boys. You got any other questions?
Yeah, we've been holding Jimmy. I'm surprised you just sat here and talked to us for an hour and 45 minutes. You get sick of us sooner than that.
Yeah, the funny thing is he's probably sitting here while the other guy's on the other side of the truck working on the boat.
Oh, dude, the whole crew left like 30 minutes before I got here, but I got to the shop early today. I was able to help out and work on some stuff. We're making some spare parts. We're making spare wings, spare uprights. So I walked through the door and Mike Hansen had a table ready for me of parts to like prep and weld, and I'm like, oh yep, I'm back in the I'm
Back
back
in it.
I'm back in it. Here we go. Like here I go. Put me to work.
Boat racing. There's not
You
many
should have been.
soft landings in boat racing.
You should have said I didn't put welding on my resume.
Yeah.
Do
No,
you
I
still
mean,
fit in the seat that's made for that boat?
man, I just found out that Andrew took my seat. He's been using my seat insert for since he's been driving over here. So now,
Dang.
now I got to make
It's
a new
tainted.
like a new beat seat, which is probably appropriate for me to have to make a new one because
Especially with the muscles you got now.
I
mean,
know, I know, I got to make
Yeah.
it even smaller. But no, I mean, just to like wrap it up here, I'm just so like, I'm stoked to come back. I'm stoked at this opportunity. I'm really excited, like with what Bruce is doing for the sport. One of the other things that really brought me back was, I mean, Bruce and I come from the same background. Bruce started a sheet metal shop in Tri-Cities, Washington, and I had to get it in there.
Had to get it in there.
But it's I think we're going to get along so good and so well. I think we're going to be on the same page because it's just like you guys, like, you know, their motto for the company is you know, building people who build great things, and that's, you know, that's what you guys do at H Tool. That's what you guys did with the race boat, with the 2.5 stock. It's what you did with the GP boat when you guys were building it and trying different things. I'm really stoked to be in that environment of people that have a like mindset. And like I say, it's your upbringing that got you to where you are today. And Apollo Mechanical is like, it's my upbringing. Like it was a mom and pop metal shop, and now they're massive over the country, in multiple states. And so I think it's a good fit. I'm really excited to get back with the team and have the opportunity. Not sure what boat I'm going to be in yet, but we'll see.
I think we done figured it out.
Yeah.
I do have to say,
I think
there-
time will tell. We'll see.
yeah, I'm sure there'll be a big announcement coming soon.
I don't
We
know.
could have broke it here on Chasin Tails, but thanks, man.
Nah,
We appreciate
ain't
you
nothing
anyway.
to break.
he probably really doesn't know.
I really don't know.
Coin flip.
I'm being truthful with you. I have no idea which boat. I will say all three boats are being prepped right now for the season, so that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing for the sport that all three boats are going to be back together. And the boat, the Apollo boat right now is still in its same position as it was in Gunnersville. So it's upside down on the dolly. But it's looking good. Like there's a lot of work that has been done on that boat. And Sharky is dear to my heart, right? I mean, that was a boat I drove for many years.
Yeah.
And so to possibly have that opportunity to get back in that boat is going to be cool as well.
Yeah. There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do have to add that when I got in Unlimited, I was told to go watch your videos of how you start the boat, and how you shut it off. So I'm watching one of the videos, and you're like, "Hey, give me a water." I was like, Jesus. And then it became this whole thing. I'm like, they got this on the YouTube here. It is a good little back and forth. But I might have to search that one, post it on Chasin Tails tomorrow.
You know what? I got a question for Brandon real quick. When you took your first like hard straightaway and hard corner and Unlimited, like what was your like reaction? What did you think? Because I remember what mine was, but I'm curious to hear what yours was.
The straightaway was nothing, but then the turn, it was like, whoa, we are really going that fast. And then I took a couple more laps, and I'm like, why can't I see the buoys? And I'm like, oh, my head is going like this, and I'm
Yep.
supposed to be looking like this. So it like
Yep.
took a lot to like train your head to like get in that position before you turned in. It's a lot of G-force that I wasn't expecting. I mean, the step for it's driving that versus driving a GP is like two different animals. GP being so you got to be aggressive and fly the thing, and you're just mashing rollers. But I mean, you told me a long time ago, and I can't. I guess we'll give out some secrets here. Is like you see those rollers, just the boat will go through it, drive through it, and that's helped me tremendously in GP. And I mean, obviously, you got to do it in unlimited. They're just bigger.
That's what they're built for.
Cool. So I don't know if you guys can still see me or not. Can you still see me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
It's yeah. So yes, that was my exact same reaction. Was I got on the radio with Mike Weber in Salina when I did my display run, and I literally was like, man, I cannot hold my head up, like, and so I got on the radio with Mike, and I was like, my neck hurts, my neck. He's like, how'd you like it? And I was like, my neck hurts, and he's like. He thought I was saying my nuts hurt, and so he's like looking at the crew. He's like, I guess the seatbelts are tight, or I don't know. He's like, something's wrong with the seatbelts because he says his nuts hurt, and so I get back, and the crew's like, "Are you okay? Like, we heard you get your nuts hurt," and I'm like, "No, not my neck. It's my neck." Like, and they're like, "Oh, that's not what we thought."
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's great.
But yeah, same thing. Like you have to retrain like your body because of the forces, and it was the coolest thing that I remember when I sat in the Unlimited and I went to go get qualified for the first time, or even in Salina, like driving it for the first time. I get in the cockpit and they close the lid, and I start the boat up, and it starts moving, and I literally look over and I'm like, oh my God, there's no boat around me. Like I'm sitting out in the open, right? Like you're so used to the deck line in inboards and GPs. And I look over, I'm like, I'm just hanging out here, like over top the water, and it's just zooming by me, and there's no boat around me. Like the cockpit's just sticking so far out there. It's wild.
Yeah,
I think that's why like J. Michael and some of the outboarders are so good at flying the boat, because that's like a position they're natural in.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely unique the first time in Unlimited. So it's
But I
probably
got a fix for that. I'm gonna put a bungee cord to the front of my mask. It's gonna hold my head.
There you
or
go.
a gas shock going this way. We're in the developmental stages right now.
Yep.
What you gotta do is that carnival ride, like the spaceship where it just sucks you to the wall.
Yep.
You just gotta go in there and practice turning your head back.
Just turn your head. Yeah, that's a good idea. Except for
the
I don't do
gravitron.
spinny rides.
It's
I'm
the
gonna throw
gravitron.
up. I'm like, I'm training, guys. All right, Jimmy, before we let you go, this is the last question. It comes from Bianca. Jimmy, did you come back because your son won a nationals and you had FOMO?
I mean, maybe partly. Like,
You gotta show him who's boss.
I think it was that. I think that actually did help to make the decision, because it was one of those things where it was a sign that I had like accomplished one of my goals by taking time off and focusing on the boys and their goals. And for Hudson but first of all, both the boys, I'm so proud of what they've done, and they shocked us this year. I did not expect them to do what they did, but for them to finish first and second in the J Hydro national championships was, I mean, beyond words. And even more fitting, like it was Hudson's third race ever in a race boat, and he goes out there and he wins the stock outboard J Hydro nationals. And I mean, it was just so rewarding that it felt like we accomplished a massive goal that I didn't expect. And so when I asked the boys, I had a couple opportunities come up to come back and drive some different types of race boats, and I was like, I straight up, my decision was going to be based on what the boys said and how they reacted, and when they didn't even like flinch at it, they were like, "Yes, like go, yeah, like yes, go back and do it. We want to watch you drive." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I could, I could do it." So that was the biggest driving force to
That's
coming
awesome.
back was my kids' acceptance to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool.
That's cool. Well, Jimmy, it's been a fun couple hours here, and we appreciate you coming on, man. You got a good vision for the sport. I think you're going to be a real asset, not even just the driving, that things outside of driving that this sport really could need, the boost it needs. Obviously, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with on the race course, and I'll see you when you're in lane 2 and I'm in lane 1 in Madison. Teach me how to run through that turn 1. I hear you're the best at turn 1, so I might as well be inside you. You can point me in the right direction.
Yeah, I can help with that for sure. And this will be one of the last times you see me with a beard too, because I'm gonna have to get back into shaving. So hopefully, some of the grays are starting to show coming in here. So maybe I'll look a little bit younger this summer next time you all see me.
There we go.
I appreciate it very
Bobby
much. Hey,
muted his
and then,
mic.
yeah, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity, like what you guys are doing with this show, getting people engaged, getting them involved. Like it's one of the things, like we mentioned, it's needed. So I appreciate the opportunity. You guys keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be tuned in and watching.
Thank you.
Good luck this season, bud.
Yeah,
It's
good
excited
luck,
to have you back.
Looking forward to,
Thank you
seeing
very
what
much.
you do out there.
Yep, me too. We'll see how it all goes.
All right, man. Have a good night, and appreciate you coming on.
Yep, thanks everybody for watching.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
See you, man.
All right, so boys, don't start arguing over anything other than that. We'll do that next week because that was a good episode.
That was cool.
No,
It's cool Jimmy stayed on that long. I know it works a little better for the West Coast guys, honestly, on time because of the time difference. But I you kind of touched on it in the closing there, but obviously he's a great asset from the competition side in H1, but we need more drivers and hopefully more new drivers with his mindset of the sport first, not himself, not his boat. And obviously he's competitive and Bruce is competitive and they're going to go out there and try to win, but somebody that's open to changing things. I mean, he said as much, like he would prefer from a competitive standpoint to race fight for lanes because he's good at it and he's done it for a long time, but he'll be the first to tell you that the HRL formulas worked really well. And I think from my perspective, we know what Jimmy can do as a driver. I'm excited to have him back on board in the boat racing world from the growing the sport perspective.
Yeah, it'll be good. It definitely brings adds more competitiveness to the H1 field, and so that's what H1 needs. More competitors out there who are going to be aggressive, and I think it'll be really good all around. So can't wait for the season to start.
How about the season? We didn't mention that the season starts with the Gold Cup. Unless something else happens between now and then, that's
hopefully
it's kind of wild.
One, that is wild. I think that in some ways, obviously, I think the team's perspective is probably like, if you're strong or BWR, you're like that really only helps the other teams. But from the show perspective, you throwing a wrench in it, and usually when you throw a wrench in competition, you get some fireworks.
Yeah.
So it's hey, welcome back, Jimmy. Here, go race for the Gold Cup.
Yeah, this is you get a big bonus if you win the Gold Cup.
Yeah. Now,
does he have to requalify?
Does he? I was about to ask that. Does he have to?
Isn't it like 10 years or something?
Yeah, it's probably. If Phil Walk's never had to requalify, nobody does.
So,
I'm not sure.
I gotta go find something that Eddie was telling me about while we were talking to Jimmy. We gotta share with.
Little video. Yeah, I was trying to clip up on some videos while we were talking, but I was a little slow.
Even a video. We got a new boat for sale.
Oh yeah, Grant Hearn's boat.
Grant
Yep.
Hearn,
Just saw
18K,
that.
The Henderson.
everything but props for that boat.
With the
The
2300
Henderson.
aluminum
I
head. That's a
mean,
hell
we
of a
said
deal.
Jacobs was a hell
No
of a deal.
trailer.
This might
No
be
trailer,
no,
but
oh, it is no trailer.
yeah. I think about
Doesn't matter. It's
6,500
still
H tool machine will build a trailer.
Yeah.
Or for
it's still
$2,000, Paul Barber will build one.
it's still a good deal. You can buy that boat. If you put everything together, it can go be a top 3 boat in nature.
That boat's one of the most pristine Hendersons ever built.
Yes.
It was built. Matt Earl had a big part in building that. He was very meticulous for the Stevensons, and it's been over a couple times, but the boat's still in solid condition.
It's a great
that's
boat.
a steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
go ahead.
good. You can.
Two of the boats for sale right now are championship winning hulls.
Yeah.
Proven track record. They got the resume. You don't have to worry about the boat not being ready to compete with the best. If you're up for it as a driver, you'll have the boat to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for a 2.5 stock, you don't know how to get in touch with any of these guys, get in touch with one of us. We'll help you get in touch with Grant Hearn or Jacob and buy one of these fast boats and get out on the water and be competitive right out of the gate
next year, man.
Yeah, definitely. And breaking news. Chasin Tails is going to drop our price on the Honda package Black Friday special. $11,500 ready to go. Drop it in, go racing. Breaking news. Yep.
Everything.
I beat up on our suppliers, Marty Wolf and H Tool Machine, and we got that price down. Black Friday all the way through November.
Or you can just support the 2.5 mod class and just register your 2.5 stocks 2.5 mod and just go support a class that needs it. Because
that's it.
If you want to.
Didn't I say we weren't getting into this, Bob?
Oh,
come on,
shit.
Bob.
I'm sorry.
Here he goes.
Man.
We do. I did there was a cool thing talking to Bert Henderson today. So we're kind of kicking ideals back and forth to maybe build a for sale boat, a rental / for sale boat, brand new boat. So put a Honda in it, do some things. So that might be in the works. We'll keep chatting about it. Up there
so next week, guys, we will have Timmy Collins on, our inboard racing commissioner for APBA.
We got to come up for a name for that segment.
Commissioner's Corner.
Commissioner's Corner. God,
oh, Chairman's Corner. There we go.
I don't know. Is he a chairman, commissioner?
He's the inboard. He's the inboard chairman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Chairman's Corner. But he's just going to come on and he's going to talk about what's going on behind the scenes. All through the years of APBA, everyone always complains, oh, they're not doing anything. The IRC's not doing anything. They're not trying to help the sport. So he wants to come on and be transparent about everything that's going behind the scenes, what his administration is trying to do to better the sport and take it a step in the right direction. So
which is a lot of cool things from what you were saying.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, from what he's doing, but coming on here just to not that the whole world watches our show, but for people who do, they can go spread the word that the IRC and the inboard chairman are doing something, or more than something, multiple things to better the sport and take it in the right direction. So he'll be on maybe every week, maybe every other week, but he's definitely going to be on here. That was something that we talked about when we first started this, that he thought it would be cool to come on and do it. Now, since we've been doing it for a while and he has things moving behind the scenes to help our sport, he definitely wants to come on. We were going to have him on this week, but because we had Jimmy on, I talked to Timmy.
You thought we was going to have time for Timmy this week. I told you this one was going to be a long one.
but Timmy did say it was probably better to wait a week so he had more details so he could share with the general public.
I agree with that.
It'll be interesting because I think we should have him right off the bat, because what he's doing, it might roll us into a lot more conversations, because him and his IRC committee have a lot of good ideas and a lot of things that they're trying that are really good. And, it's along the lines of what we've been talking about, not that, but what we preach all the time,
Yeah. You notice 90% of our people coming on here when we talk about like how to make things better, say fans first.
Fans first.
And that's not the way
Fans
we've
first.
thought for the past 20 years. So
Yeah.
that's the main thing, and I think a lot of what you said, Timmy was talking about, and what he'll
Yeah.
share with us next week here live, obviously I think hits that,
Yeah.
and tries to get more engagement, more people in the sport. It's going to be cool to talk to him about that. And then obviously one of our guests coming soon has to be Brad Luce. We're starting to get a little bit of hate mail about not getting Brad Luce on here, so but to our credit, he was on a fishing trip. When we were gonna have him on, I had an opening for him, and he was on a fishing trip. So that's not my fault.
That's not fun.
He probably
Sounds
didn't even
better
catch
than
no
sitting up
fish.
here in Michigan right now.
Yeah, y'all about to ice fish.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're going to ask him a question. He's going to be like, "Hold on, hey Statman,
Yes, he's gonna have Nick. He's gonna have Nick. He's gonna have Kish in his ear. Like, hey, what was that?
Was hitting us with stuff.
in the chat."
Exactly.
In the chat,
1993 was the last youngest field of H1 unlimited drivers. That's
Yep.
kind of wild. And we're really not even that young. Like, oh.
Y'all
No,
might be
'cause
the
Jay
shortest
Jay
drivers,
Mike's-
too. I mean, you're not helping that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, you,
bring it
Corey,
down.
J. Mike,
Yeah.
Jimmy might be the
Andrew's
tallest.
Not that tall either.
Yeah,
he's not
Jimmy's
short,
probably
but
the
he's not
tallest.
tall.
No, you guys are all midgets.
Yeah, me and
Except
Andrew
Jimmy.
fit in the same
Except,
seat.
except
in the
Jimmy and
300,
Jamie.
so.
What's that?
Jamie's definitely raising the average height.
Yeah.
How tall's Gunner?
I think normal height.
Yeah.
What's normal height, Brandon?
Average, folks. The
all
average.
right, stat man. What is the average height of an H1 driver?
He's about to have
She's still
average driver.
he's still in the chat.
38.7.
He's still in the
38.7 years is the average age right now. That's just like a lot lower than I expected it to be. So
Oh, 38.
Now we just need the average driver height.
Now,
Might,
if you drop J. Michael Kelly, it
it
probably goes down a few years.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Jimmy just
when he had
40,
Bill walk
right?
up, up in there.
Yeah, it just took it down.
Yeah, everyone can go pretty much to the Denny's and get a free breakfast.
But yeah, Scott Dietz commented about Pontiac Lake being back. That's really big, or not back, but they're working on it, and I think we've talked a lot about putting on a race here and stuff like that, and you never know, we might do it. But I think Chasin Tails just needs to everything we can to help these races.
I mean, we were looking to add a race in Region 6, but we heard another race was being added in Ohio, and we knew that Pontiac Lake was probably going to come back. Well, I know that homeowners association was pushing really hard. I've been talking to this lady for over a year here and there about it, and
they love it.
So
the
Lake Association is pushing.
When you have
we had everything for that fan engagement there. You had great vendors. You had some like cars there you could check out. A lot of different things from the community. Everything was rolling.
One of the last years they had a concert at night.
Yeah.
I do think that concert was part of what put it out. Like, I think they may have overpaid for that concert because it was a free concert. It was like a pull-up.
Yeah.
So I do, and you know, prop riders have been doing this for a while, and a lot of the people that are still involved or were involved then. And I think the biggest thing you said is the homeowners came to the prop riders about this.
That's cool.
I mean, you're
that's
essentially
huge.
stealing their body of water that they live on for 2 days, and
the
fact that they're asking you to do it is a great step in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're even going to help to get sponsors. I mean, these people are full blown committed to have this race. So I think there's a 1% chance that it's not going to happen because the homeowners lake association's behind it. The DNR said, yes, we can have the date. Marine Prop Riders, the general membership voted for it to have a go. I think there's only like 3 people against it in the Marine Prop Riders. Not going to name any names. But it is. Yeah. But it's
boom, boom.
Oh, and we announced it. We were the first ones to drop that news. So
yeah.
You
wanted to do it at like
even
10 o'clock at night. I was like, bro, that algorithm says no.
We don't even need that Marine Prop Riders Facebook page.
I think we got just a little bit more reach.
just a little bit.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for filling out our survey. Not to switch subjects, but it's getting late and we got to jump all around here. But people keep filling out our survey. We're just trying to get some more knowledge of what fans and racers want to do. We got these rule proposals hopefully going to go through. I think we'll have a good shot at making things better from our standpoint and how we think shows should go. So, but just keep filling out that form. And yeah, this is cool.
Oh, you like how Jimmy even said that we need to take our show and shrink it down to a certain time rather than start testing at 8 a.m. and then just keep racing till 5 p.m.
Even to his point, testing can happen before the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Bipes was out there and he was promoting that to definitely go down the 2 days. And he got he said, I was up there and people were like, even Bruce was like, yep, I agree. Yep, I like that. He's like, man, I felt like I was a preacher up there. Like, let's go down to 1 day event. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, he was probably the happiest he's ever been.
Man, that head couldn't even fit on this screen right now.
No, it can't. It couldn't. That's why we don't let it. That's why we didn't let
him. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I haven't talked to him the last couple days. He'd be like, everyone thinks I'm right.
Yeah, pretty much. He said it was pretty comical being in the technical rules meetings and some of the stuff and the banter back and forth between drivers. Oh, it's all fun. That's the stuff that needs recorded. That closed door stuff where we all start to get hot and man, get your adrenaline pumping. That's
dude. I mean, if they can get those F1 guys to agree to do those meetings on camera. I mean, you saw when they were talking about the porpoising, that confrontation between Toto and Christian Horner. I mean, they weren't being nice to each other. They're taking personal shots, but that's what people want to see. At the end of the day, I'll go back to what I said before. It's like the shut up and dribble thing in basketball. Taking the political aspect out of it, as a professional athlete, you are an entertainer. If you don't want to admit it, you continue to lie to yourself. But people pay to watch you do something, which makes it entertaining.
Yeah, it comes down to look at what Cletus McFarland's done.
Yeah,
he's done enough, and that's why I believe highly in the sport needs to be built from social media out. Like we have events, we'll make some events better, but what these guys like Cletus has done, I mean, now he owns a track. He's putting on some of the biggest events of the year, the mullets that they just had, which awesome. I'm putting in my name that I'm an unlimited hydroplane driver now. I need to be in this thing.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I'm going to throw that. He's going to be like, what's an unlimited hydroplane? I'm like, this thing.
Did you see Pastrana's wife? She ran in.
Oh, yeah. She would crash into everybody.
She's like, I'm the best at just being in the way, man. That's how I stayed on the lead lap. I just kept getting in everybody trying to pass me's way.
They had to run and shut the trunk so they could take off. And
that's awesome.
Had nitrous in the Crown Vics. Like, that's the most fun. I got to get in that somehow or another. Just need a secondary driver.
Boys.
We'll flip a coin.
Boys, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
That's a long time. So what are you saying? You want to wrap it up? You want to do the outro?
This is Bobby Kennedy, Chasin Tails, episode number 69.
Nobody cares that it's Bobby Kennedy, bro. Start over,
man. I'm the man that taught Brandon everything he knows. This is episode 69.
Keep going.
Thanks for tuning in. It was a good episode with Jimmy Shane. We wish him the best of luck in the 2026 H1 season. Welcome back to the Gold Cup. Is going to be his race. That's going to be awesome. First race back the Gold Cup. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
Talk about pressure. Talk about pressure. New team, same boat, but back at the Gold Cup.
What do you think? We talk about the boat and then we'll get to the outro. We kept trying to pinpoint.
He's going to be in his old boat.
I think they're coming out with Sharky, at least for Madison. He knows that boat. So? Knows Madison with that boat. And then maybe they'll transition. I don't know what the rules are points wise, but obviously I think they can transition. Obviously Dave did.
Transition back,
so,
I think is the rule.
Yeah, I feel like that would be what happens.
I think he's coming out in the last Madison Hall that he raced.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That could be. God, they got paint boats again.
Because he might have just came in there like, hey, I have more of a winning record than Andrew. This is the boat I want.
Yeah, he could. And I mean, at the end of the day, Goodman's a huge sponsor, but Bruce still owns the boat. So,
Still owns boat, right? You
and I
sponsor
mean,
name,
either
swap
way,
names. Yeah.
all three boats
And,
are pretty damn
and
close.
you know, as for Bruce, it's got to feel pretty good to have Andrew and Jimmy both driving for him. He's got to
Yeah.
be pretty excited for that. His odds of winning a Gold Cup and the championship probably increased twofold.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with
by
that.
a good amount. So,
Yes, sir.
so all right,
All right,
boys, I
folks.
gave you the outro, so let's
Yeah,
just get the hell
we
out
did
of
the
here.
outro and then we kept talking. That was a good one. I like that. Anyway, people, like, subscribe, follow to Chasin Tails. We got a lot of cool things coming. Obviously, we said Timmy Collins on next week. Do a little Chairman's Corner episode. Got some other people lined up, and obviously after next week is Thanksgiving, so we're gonna have a good feast. And yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday, folks.